Welcome, everybody. I'm JD,
And I'm Gail.
and you're tuned in to Gail Force.
From deep inside Bunker Foxtrot, located somewhere under the swamps of Central Florida, it's Gail.
Well, happy Easter, Gail. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
I see you survived Passover.
Yeah.
Not that I'm really religious, but I seem to have survived it too.
Yeah. There was. I didn't put any lamb's blood over the mantle, but I survived.
I did miss the Ten Commandments. We try to catch it every year, but missed it this year. But there is a bunch of news out there that happens to involve the church and the churches and religion, and we're going to get to that right now because it's time for some new news. So what is in the news? What is happening?
Oh my gosh, there's just so much happening.
I didn't catch a screenshot. Didn't have time because I'm kind of a little pressed for time today. But there's some. We do know that something happened in France last week.
Notre Dame.
But there was some big happening. Just what, yesterday? Just
No, this morning was
was
Sri
it this
Lanka.
morning? Okay. What's happening in Sri Lanka? Maybe you can kind of give us a heads up because you kind of
Sri
let me
Lanka.
know.
Well,
Yeah,
in
so
Sri Lanka.
I know that there's some. We'll get to Notre Dame in just a minute, but the West seems to be burning.
Yes.
And we're not going to blame it on anybody, but since you are a conspiracy theorist expert
Absolutely.
here, what's happening in Sri Lanka? What did I miss? I didn't get a chance to catch up on it.
Okay, just to put people in things, Sri Lanka is an area that's under the nation of India's control. It's kind of an island area. There was a total of, I think, 8 different bombs were set off. The 8th explosion goes off in Sri Lanka. There were deadly attacks on a couple of hotels, about several Christian churches. They just say several because there's been another bombing. An 8th bomb went off and 3 more were killed.
And this is happening on Easter Sunday.
It's Easter Sunday services.
So we can pretty much say that it probably wasn't. I'm not really religious and nothing, but we're pretty sure it's not the Lord who set off these bombs.
Well, since you and I didn't go there and was struck by lightning,
Yeah.
it probably wasn't. It wasn't the Lord God Jehovah.
Yeah.
Okay?
So what happened in Sri Lanka? Why did these bombs just all of a sudden made themselves and then placed themselves somewhere and then killed all these people? These bombs, these inanimate objects like guns, just went off by themselves. Is that pretty much what happened?
There was a gun sale, but they closed the store down for the holiday, but they still killed people. Yeah.
So there was quite a few injured, quite a few killed.
Over 160 dead right now.
And this was just the last couple hours.
Yes. It was like 8:30. It started local time in India. 8:30 or 8:35 or something like that. The first one started going off, and there's several of these churches.
And what really has me kind of not flustered or whatever, but it's how calm the Christians have been, even though that they've been targeted on a Christian holiday.
Well, I mean, look at Notre Dame. That just happened a few days.
And we're going to get that in just a second. But could you imagine if a mosque was attacked on a holy Muslim holiday?
Oh, you're talking about like over there in
it would have
New
been,
Zealand?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a holy day, and there was worldwide thing. And if you talked about it or bad about it, you could lose your Facebook or Twitter account because you can't talk about it.
So we're not sure who set off these bombs. They could have set themselves off. They could have made themselves. The bombs could have rolled in there and decided to go off on Easter Sunday. But the Christians are handling themselves pretty well right now. They're not pulling up arms, which we're probably going to get to in a little bit here. But there's big bombings going on in Sri Lanka against the Christians. And again, I just want to say I'm not really religious, but I'm just kind of showing the facts here. And but could you imagine if this would have been a Muslim holy day and Christians went in, or anybody would have bombed a mosque? Oh, we would never hear the end of it.
What about a Jewish temple on Passover? How would that gone over?
Yeah, so We don't know what all the facts are yet, but it looks like, to me, and we're going to get to it in just a second here. It looks like to me that the West is on fire. That
Oh
for
yeah,
some reason, the culture of the West, the Western culture, the culture where the individual reigns, and it's not it's laws that men should,
right.
and
Kind of like the golden rule,
yeah,
do unto
and
others.
that's the Western culture, but the Western culture seems to be on fire now, and we saw that now with the church burning. And here it is. We have
It started
Notre
with a plume of
Dame.
smoke.
And me and my wife had a pleasure of visiting
That
that back in
swiftly
1990.
became an
Beautiful
inferno,
building, huge
engulfing the
building,
most
but as we can see
iconic
here,
Gothic
it caught
cathedral
fire
in all of Europe.
earlier this week. Pretty much,
Within
it's probably
hours,
an
the
accident.
flames took the
Okay, that's what looks
cathedral's
like a
timber
construction
roof
accident. But this, to me, is just a
and
symbol.
sent
There you
its
see
spire crashing to the ground.
Okay,
yeah, everything burning there.
that power coming down.
Yeah, but
See that
this,
fire?
this to me,
This is a national
I'm not saying
disaster.
it's an attack on
I'm
the
very
church, but a
upset.
lot of people don't know
This
that
cathedral
over
is
in Europe, there's been
850
over
years old.
100 church
To see the
fires
building
in last
fall to
couple years.
pieces,
Yeah.
to see the
Okay,
spire
and there's
fall
a
down,
attack
just as
on
we
the
were
religion
renovating
going
it.
on. Now, we're not
All I
saying
could
that
do
there's
is
another
pray.
religion behind it or whatever, or there's just some kooks out there.
400
But in my view,
firefighters
it
fought
looks
the
like
blaze.
the Western
They
culture is
climbed
under attack.
into the church
And we see that
towers
here
to
in
try to
America
prevent
too,
its spread. But
we'll
soon
see, that the
authorities were
Constitution
preparing
was written
Paris
by a bunch of
for
white
the worst,
supremacists,
warning
and,
the cathedral had been
it's-
devastated.
the whole world's on fire.
est évidemment
And now
un terrible
that we
drame.
see that the church
A
is
terrible
burning,
tragedy.
luckily
It's our
they have a
literature,
lot of
our
people
history, our
want
wars,
to
our
invest,
liberation,
not invest, but
the epicenter
charity
of
to
our lives.
rebuild Notre Dame. But that has brought on another problem. So
Hundreds
what
of
else is happening?
Parisians
And we know this has
flocked
been
to the
happening
banks
every
of the
weekend
Seine.
for like the last 20 weeks so far or whatever.
It's like up to 22 weeks.
Yeah, so what else is happening?
Some weeping, some
in
singing
France
hymns.
that a lot of people don't know what's happening.
The Yellow Vest movement.
Oh, what happened to it? Oh, it figures. Oh, there we go. Maybe there we go. A lot of people don't know what the Yellow Vest movement still is. Okay, and what the Yellow Vest movement is, maybe you can explain a little bit real quick.
Well, the Yellow Vest movement started, I don't know, 21, 22 weeks ago. France is in such financial trouble because they've had to borrow so much money because there's a lot of people retiring, and surprise, there is no retirement money there because the banks have gambled it all away. You have millions of immigrants that are there, have no talent, they have no marketable skills, and they don't speak the local language.
They're not producing nothing. They're more like they're being like leeches or parasites. They're living off other people.
So
Kind of like Bernie does, when he made that book. He's living off
Right.
the backs of the poor.
Yeah, that's the parasites, ticks, fleas.
Yeah.
Leeches.
So the Yellow Vest people are pretty much pissed because all of a sudden, they've been protesting for 20 weeks trying to get a relief on their tax burden. They just want to live their lives, but they want to have a little money left over at the end of the week. And now all they see is Notre Dame burned.
Right.
And now all these big millionaires and billionaires are now given all this money to rebuild a church, and they're wondering where their fair share is.
Yeah.
So this, I'm not saying anything bad about my good buddy. Let me see if I can find my good buddy here. I always got to bring up my good buddy. Oh, I don't have him up here today. Oh, damn it. My good buddy Bernie, But these rich people are giving all this money to a church, and the Yellow Vest people are wondering where's their fair share.
Right.
So this could be, I'm not saying, we're always looking for that straw that breaks the camel's back. And, everybody's been saying there's going to be a collapse here, for the last 15 years, there's going to be economic collapse or whatever. But this kind of, I'm scared that the Yellow Vest movement might really take off now because they're really pissed that all these billionaires all of a sudden have all this money to help a church. And we got to remember, a couple of years ago, the countries bailed out all the big banks because they made stupid loans, and now they're bailing out the church. And you got to remember, banks have lots and lots of money. Church has lots and lots of money. And now the Yellow Vest movement over in France is wondering, well, you're bailing out churches, you're bailing out banks.
How come you're not bailing
When are you
on
going to
us?
bail on us? And how soon do you think that's going to come to our shores?
Oh, who knows? The next time we get a slowdown in this country, I could literally see it happen. I really can, because what they don't see is, okay, the billionaires donate. Okay, there are laws written by. It's not capitalism. It's crony.
Crony capitalism. Big difference there.
There's a big difference between capitalism and
Yeah,
crony
we haven't been a capitalist country or a capitalist world in 100 years. The
Oh,
last
yeah.
time we were even near capitalism was back in the Industrial Revolution. We were
Right.
close. But with what's happening in France, with it's a shame that the church is burning. Let me see if I can bring that back up here. It's really a shame because they do have some nice artifacts.
It started
that
with a
building's
plume
been
of
around
smoke.
what 800 years.
Something like that.
Yeah, and
It
it's
swiftly
really
became an
remarkable what they did
inferno,
back in
There was some
engulfing the most
architectural
iconic
engineering
Gothic
with the
cathedral
flying
in all
buttresses
of
and stuff
Europe.
like that.
It's really amazing building.
Within
was
hours, the flames took the
revolutionary
cathedral's
construction for
timber
the time
roof
to create that large of spaces.
It was
and
state of
sent
the art.
its
Okay, now I see
spire
that power
crashing
going
to
Yeah.
the ground.
Okay,
To me,
can
that's
I do it?
you do yours and I'll do mine.
This is a
Okay.
national
That
disaster.
power coming
I'm
over.
very upset.
Okay.
This
Now,
cathedral is 850
There are
years old.
conspiracy nuts
To
out
see the
there,
building
and one
fall
of
to
them I
pieces,
listened
to
the
see
other
the
day.
spire
There it
fall
goes again.
down, just
The
as we
tower
were
going
renovating
down.
it, all I
Well,
could do
there's
is
this-
pray.
It's like
400
QAnon and other things
firefighters
out there,
fought
these
the
political
blaze.
satire
They
cartoons.
climbed into the church
There's a thing
towers
about
to
I
try to
goat
prevent its spread,
and I go
but soon
too.
authorities were preparing Paris
And I go
for the
too,
worst,
which was
warning
released
the
about 3
cathedral
months ago.
had been
And all the
devastated.
different things that's going there.
est évidemment
Notre Dame was
terrible
on
drame.
fire.
A
and the
terrible
spire
tragedy. It's our
was going
literature,
down,
our history,
just
our
like it
wars,
showed there.
our
Now,
liberation, the epicenter
How
of
many
our
times
lives.
you're going to have coincidence?
I'm really surprised that they haven't pulled up
Hundreds of Parisians
an
flocked to
episode
the
of,
banks of the Seine.
what's that show that
Some weeping,
the
some
cartoon show
singing
that showed
hymns.
Trump coming down the stairway?
The 850-year-old
Yeah, the
cathedral had been undergoing a
don't you hate it when you
150
get
million
these
euro
brain farts?
restoration.
But I see
Now
when the
it's
spiral's
feared
coming
it was
down,
those
that's
very
the
renovations
West Burn.
which might have
Oh, yeah,
sparked
The
absolutely.
the
Western
Je pouvais pas
way
imaginer que
of,
Notre-Dame.
every
I
man
could not imagine Notre
is,
Dame hit
ended
by such a
himself.
catastrophe. For me, it's
every
France
man,
that's been
one vote,
touched. France is burning.
everybody being an
Notre
individual,
Dame
but we're
stood
not
for
into
centuries
anymore. We're
and
more
survived
into
both
tribal
world wars.
gang. My
But
gang's
now
better than your
it
gang.
must
My
be
gang
rebuilt.
thinks your gang is
Mais grâce à
bad.
leur
It's a
courage,
literal
Thanks to
divided
the courage of the
commerce.
firefighters,
That's
the
it.
facade
And-
and main
If you go
towers
west
have
of
not
thing, you have
collapsed.
to go into
We will
what's
rebuild
the
Notre Dame
Illuminati,
because that's what the French
all these
expect,
concepts, the
and
New
because
World
it's what our
Order.
history deserves, because it's our
Yeah, your conspiracy theories, but yeah, that might be another show or whatever. But like we said, that we do see that. I'm just trying to find
Just
it.
the
Yeah, okay, so I
symbolism
didn't
of
do
the
it.
West burning is what you're getting at.
Yeah, and I think that's going to eventually come here.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
And in a different way, me and you, we try to agree. Sometimes we see eye to eye, and we were talking earlier. We didn't do a pre-show, we got to start doing a pre-show. Where's our?
She's doing her nails today.
Yeah. But we were talking about not an upcoming civil war, because I really don't think there's going to be really a civil war. We see that might be happening in Europe. We see the yellow vests are really pissed off at their government because all these people are giving money to the church, they give money to the banks, but they're not giving money to the common man. And everybody now here in the States, as we see with Bernie, my good friend Bernie, and Elizabeth Warren and all the other Democrats going after the rich. And my take is that it's not going to be, if there is some kind of economic collapse, if
Yes,
something happens and we don't know what that's going to be.
correct. It could happen several ways.
A lot of people are saying there could be another civil war here against the left, against the right.
Yeah.
And I don't see it that way because I see the reason we won't have a civil war between the left and the right is because the Republican Party are just a bunch of pussies. Okay.
Correct.
And right now what you see is we see the left want to do socialism and they're going after the 1%. And we, as we notice, we know Bernie has proved that the 1% don't pay their fair share because he released his tax returns.
Right.
And Bernie's a millionaire, and of course he's not paying his fair share, so he proved it by releasing his tax returns. But it's not going to be a civil war between the left and the right. That might start.
It might start.
There might be a catalyst somehow happens between all of a sudden some crazy on either side goes off and starts shooting somebody.
Yeah, it could be one religion against no religion,
but
or left against
what
right.
I think what's going to happen is the Republicans are so scared to defend capitalism, defend the individual, that they're not going to, because right now the left and Bernie's people and all that, they're going after the 1%, the rich people. They want to take their money.
They're going after, but
and the
Republicans
can't stop and say, "Hey, we're going to protect the 1%," because if they do, they're going to be looked at as the bad guys. The Democrats are going to go, "Well, look, they're just protecting the 1%."
Right.
And as you said, it's going to be between the haves and the have-nots.
Haves and the have-nots.
Because the Republicans won't have the balls to say, "Look, everybody is an individual, including the 1%." Now you got to remember, the 1% made their money voluntarily.
Right.
People voluntarily bought iPhones and TVs and this service and that service.
Lease BMWs and Maseratis.
Yeah, just like Bernie Sanders, people voluntarily bought his book to make him a millionaire. So he used the capitalist system to become a millionaire.
Right.
But now he's not sharing his wealth, his fair share. So the Republicans aren't going to protect or not. I'm not saying protect the rich, but they're not going to protect the individual, and they're going to slowly go towards the Democrats and say, yeah, the problem is it's not us Republicans. The problem is, yeah, maybe you're right. It is those rich, and maybe we need to kind of pull the rich back. So eventually it's not going to be between the left and the right. It's going to be between the haves and the have-nots. I mean, that's my take on it.
Okay, and let me go a little further in what you said.
Okay.
I think what can happen is because the left has been eaten up so much with socialism and communism, and they're dragging it so far to the left that they're all for
I like the way she's dressed.
immigrants and not knowing which bathroom to go to and everything else.
They're a little confused.
They're confused. And the Republicans have seen a void.
Exactly.
And the void is the common working man.
That's what.
And they're going to be they're going to be sliding more towards trying to get more towards the center to be the champion of the common man.
The common man, yeah.
They're going to let Bernie and the crazy leftists be for the nut jobs against not the 1%, the 0.1%. Okay?
Yeah.
And the 0.1% are the super rich like George Soros and all the rest of those guys.
Yeah.
And Trump and the Republicans see a void, and they're basically moving more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah. That's
to where they're going to try to be the champions of the common man.
Yeah, that's what I say.
And they're going to show, well, wait a minute, looky here. What's Kamala Harris and all the rest of these characters? They want to take stuff from you, the common working man, and support Sharia law. They want to take your money, common working man, and fight the 0.1% that gives you a job.
Yeah.
We're here to help you, the common working man.
Yeah.
I think, I personally say, and JD can tell you, I personally believe anybody that's in office more than 2 terms is owned by somebody, and they should have stickers all over their jacket, just like a car in a NASCAR race, who's supporting it. I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican, or Independent. If you've been there more than 2 terms.
Yeah, I kind of look at term limits, but that's a whole
but I'm just
other
saying
thing. But
I think Republicans are slipping.
I think the Republicans are being pussies, and they're not going to fight for individual. Nobody's fighting for the individual anymore. And like you said, if there is an economic turn down, especially if gas starts going up and people can't afford
the price
to buy
of oil
gas.
if you look, the price of oil keeps inching up and inching up and inching up.
Yep.
And some of the people I listen to, and I sort of agree with them, if we get the oil that's $100 a barrel, we'll have the same thing at the end of Trump 43 and the beginning of Obama, where we had over $3 a gallon gas in Florida.
Yeah.
And they were $5 a gallon gas in California. I was watching this one guy that I watched. He's from California. Their gasoline out there in the upscale areas of California is right this minute between $3.50 and $4 a gallon for gasoline.
Yeah, and if it keeps going up, that's just going to, again, more class, warfare.
It's like 280 around here.
Real quick, before we get too far, if you're still with us, we appreciate you hanging on, and we just want you to remind you, if you're tuning in, just give us a like or, maybe subscribe. We'd really appreciate
hit that little dingle bell.
Yeah, that too. So, we
we
really appreciate that. Oh yeah, we need one of those bells like we have for the geezers.
Really, yeah.
And another quick thing here is we're hopefully going to get this channel going.
Hopefully.
Sneaky Preppers. So we'll get that going. So if you would look at Sneaky Preppers, because we think something might be happening soon. And again, we're not saying there's going to be a civil war. And again, I'm thinking it's not going to be a civil war between the left and the right. It's going to be between
black and white or anything like that.
It's going to be between the haves and the have-nots.
It'll probably not be a two-tier thing at first.
Yeah.
It's going to be the super
It's going to
rich,
be a montage of things. It could be start here, go that way.
You're going to have the working class people and those that are in what we call the welfare. I'm not trying to downgrade anybody.
Yeah.
What we call the welfare state. If the economy gets to the point that their food stamps and their welfare checks and their Section 8 gets cut off, they're going to come into your neighborhood looking for food.
That's it. That's why we're going to.
And because they're entitled.
Get ready.
Because they feel entitled, since the government won't give it to them, you have to give it to them.
That's it. So it could be between the haves and the have-nots, and we've been
more than likely.
And this started 100 years ago with the passage of the Internal Revenue Service,
and the Federal Reserve.
And it was because the 1% had too much money, and the progressives thought it'd be a good idea if we stole some of their money. So people are still into theft and slavery, and that's
taxation.
Man, I should have wrote that down earlier. I'll try to remember it, but I have a great idea for another show, which we'll get to eventually. But yeah, like we said, the West is on fire. The churches are burning, and a lot of people don't know there's been over 100 church fires in Europe, and now we have Sri Lanka, which is on fire now.
All bombings and stuff. Yeah.
So all kinds of stuff is happening, and you don't even get
the economic problem we got, like with Italy wanting their gold back.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Romania. Wants to get their gold back, but again, that's.
But if everybody wants their gold back, how can it be a barbarous relic?
Yeah, that's true.
Why did they take?
And plus, all the central banks are wanting.
Why did they take?
Are buying more and more gold.
50 tons of gold from Syria.
Okay, we don't have much time left, so I real quick want to go into. Yeah, I just want to play this because I think this is cool. But we do have some new news.
Okay.
But it's not that new. Real quick, it's the Mueller report.
Yes.
Boy, I couldn't wait for that to come out. I mean, I've been told for 2 years that Trump is going down. I mean, I was promised Russian collusion. I mean, every day I turned on the news, CNN or MSNBC or whoever you watch, it was like, Trump's going down. There is more than enough evidence that there's
Jimmy
Russian collusion. Oh man, it was like he's out of here, and all of a sudden it was like thud. No Russian collusion.
You know what they're saying now?
No Russian collusion. So it's over with, right? It's over. It's gone.
No.
It is. There were no Russian collusion. It's gone. No, don't give me that crap. It's gone.
It doesn't say there wasn't any collusion. It says there wasn't Trump-Russia collusion.
Is this another one of your conspiracy theories now?
No, actually, I saw that on TV this morning. I thought, oh my God, are you going that direction?
Okay, so let's hear it.
No, that's what they're saying now is like
Well, no. What I heard was it's not Russian collusion. It's like now we're doing obstruction of justice. Okay, here, real quick. Here's my take. It only take a couple of seconds. The whole thing was Mueller was put in because, of course, all the Democrats knew it, and of course, all the news media knew it that Russia colluded with Trump, and that's how he got elected. It was Russian collusion. There's more than enough evidence. We're going to pound them. Mueller's going to release his report. And my God, Trump's not going to be in jail. He's going to be under the jail. And all of a sudden,
nope.
I was promised collusion and didn't get it. What did we get? Now we're on to obstruction of justice. All right, here's my take. We know it was a witch hunt to begin with.
Correct.
And Trump knew this. He goes, look, I didn't collude with anybody. Why are you? And that's why he was kind of pissed. He's like, why are you doing an investigation? I didn't do nothing. Okay.
And he basically tweeted out, oh, no, I'm done for now. It was satire.
Yeah. So now they're saying, well, there's obstruction of justice. Well, here's my take on it. It wasn't justice. The Mueller report wasn't going after justice. The Mueller report was based on a witch hunt. It was based on lies. It was based on something made up.
Of injustice.
It was obstruction of injustice. Exactly. So if Trump is guilty of anything, he's guilty of obstruction of injustice. And that's just my quick take on it because we only have a few minutes. So I just had to get the Mueller report in there. It's a whole lot of nothing. But I saw the report this morning, or a news television show this morning, and ABC or whatever. What is it? Weekly. I don't know what they do on Sunday mornings. I try not to watch ABC, but they didn't say nothing about they had like 30 seconds of, no, maybe 10 seconds of, well, there was no Russian collusion, but there was obstruction. We're getting him for obstruction. We're getting him, and it's like, wait, for 2 years you said he was going down for Russian collusion, and now it's obstruction? Well, how can it be obstruction if there was no crime to begin with? He's trying to stop a non-crime? Sorry, my brain is exploding. Doesn't make sense. They pretty much guarantee that Trump's going to get reelected.
Yeah.
Especially if they try to do the impeachment thing, because the Democrats only hold the House. They don't hold the Senate. So, pretty much impeachment's going nowhere. And I'm sure that if the Senate decides to impeach Trump, he's going to let the floodgates loose. And be careful, because when you corner a, rabid dog, I would back off.
Well, now Ralph, no.
Not Ralph.
No. Crap. I hate advertisements. There's a Judiciary Committee Chairman,
Jerry
Nadler.
Yeah.
Now he thinks...
You've seen him in Star Wars. I don't know if you've seen him, but Gerald Nadler, he was in Star Wars. He was Jabba the Hutt, wasn't he?
I don't know who he was. Yeah.
If you look at him, he was Jabba the Hutt. Yeah.
He thinks that because of the Mueller report, that if they can't get Donald Trump...
That's the Russian collusion right there. It just got sucked into that black
hole.
Yeah.
That they have to get Don Jr.
Well, what they're saying is Don Jr. was so stupid he couldn't do the collusion. That sounds like the Democrats. They're so stupid they don't get economics. He was so stupid that he couldn't collude. But he did collude. Well, what did he collude or not collude? No, he was so stupid he didn't realize that he could have colluded, but he's so stupid he didn't collude. I'm sorry.
I'm just so stupid. I bought. You know what? I'm so stupid. I bought the wrong ticket last night.
Oh, damn it! Again? You do that every week. Stop buying the wrong ticket. Buy the right one. Okay. All right. We only got a couple minutes left, and I know there's not a whole lot out there, but we have to do just a little crypto.
Oh.
And here's the crypto news. Okay. This is a conversation I had with my wife. And she goes, I'm breaking up with you. And I go, why? And she goes, because you never stop talking about crypto. And I said, babe, I'll stop. I swear to Satoshi. She says, bye. I said, wait. Huddle on. Buy,
There you
buy,
go.
buy. Yeah. Alright, so what that means is cryptos are making a comeback because we know that the government money, the fiat money, going down. But
They pulled back today, though.
well, EOS, I heard EOS overtook Litecoin, didn't it?
Yeah, it's the number 5 position, and Litecoin's number 6. Bitcoin Cash has gone to number 4.
But wasn't Bitcoin Cash taken off one of the exchanges or something, or something's going on?
No,
with...
that's Bitcoin Satoshi Vision.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah. I haven't been keeping
So
up with it.
the crypto market hasn't crashed. It's just a pullback. There's another opportunity.
It's still above $5,000, right?
Bitcoin, yeah, it's 52.78 right now,
Yeah.
and Litecoin's at
And
75.
Just a month ago, it was still stuck around.
Around 5,000, 5,200.
Well, no, it was like 30 or 3
Oh,
grand.
3 months ago it was like 3,200.
Yeah. So it's
it's
hanging in there.
In December, Litecoin was at $24. Now it's at 75. So yeah, it's in the toilet.
And of course, before we end the show, which is getting close up to it, I gotta, if it pleases the crown, Bernie, where's my free TV? You're my man. You're giving free healthcare to everybody. I
want my free phone.
I want my free TV.
Okay.
Okay. If it gives me a free TV, I'm all for it.
Yeah, but if you had a free phone, you can watch YouTube on your phone, and
that's
you
true.
can watch Gail Force Creations on your phone.
Oh, yeah. Where were we at on Gail Force Creations? We're in a couple of different places. Let me go here. We're on, okay, if you're watching us on YouTube, do a subscribe and a like. Just below there, please subscribe. We'd love it. And maybe we'll give you a gift one day if we can. But you can catch us on BitTube under Gail Force. Man,
Gail Force
I have
Creations.
been doing Steemit a lot. I got to get Steemit going.
Yeah.
So we do that.
YouTube
and on Facebook, we've been changing the
format,
the page around a little bit on Every Bit Matters. Actually, if you look at Bring Back Liberty, because I couldn't use Every Bit Matters. There's 2 Every Bit Matters, but we're the real Every Bit Matters. Check us out on Facebook under Every Bit Matters, and you'll see we have a new fan page there. We're going to try to bring that up, and we'd love it if you would kind of watch us there and give us some feedback. And again, we appreciate everybody watching us.
If we get enough people, we will do a live Facebook.
Yeah, I'm working on that. We're going to, if I can figure out how to do some more stuff here, we'll do that. And don't forget, we're also going to try a new channel here, Sneaky Preppers, and I got some stuff going in the background there that we'll talk about later.
Okay.
But then again, every Sunday we try to do a new show here. Oh, let's bring us back. A new show here on Gail Force Creations. I'm JD.
I'm Gail.
And we hope that you enjoy this show. And if you do, let your friends know about it. Share if you would. And again, do a like and a subscribe.
Don't take everything we say serious or to heart.
Yeah, we don't even do that.
No.
Yeah. And what else are we missing?
Do your own due diligence and search things out.
What else are we missing? We pretty much cover everything today.
We didn't win the lottery, so we got to go back to work.
There it is. There's a black hole sucking the soul out of us. So have a good one, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Take care.